Alrighty, welcome to the Ramsey Show Aftershow. Making sure we have audio. Okay, we do. Webcam framing always looks different on the YouTube itself than the streaming software. Streaming problems. First world problems. What up, Jules? What up, BBQ? Thanks for reporting for duty. Much appreciated. I didn't mean to do that. What degrees is it? 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Not bad. Not bad. Get started here. About another. Oh, let's start now. It's 4:30. Live from Cabot, Arkansas. It's the Ramsey Show After Show. Welcome, welcome. YouTube channels, youtube.com/coachstevemoney. That's where you are right now. And for additional financial content, you can just scroll down on that page, youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And you have the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist. The 118 of those. And the Ramsey Show After Show today is number 389 of those. So plenty of stuff to listen to. I do normally sing on air. I'm not going to today, though. But I have in the music playlist, I have 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Like How to Do the Baby's Deb's Right. And of course, accurate for today, Dave Cation certainly deserves it. Dave Cation, Time to Get Away. Probably the best video that I've ever done, a lyric video for You Belong Dead Free. You belong dead free. So like I said, 11 of those total. They're songs about Jade, George, Rachel, and John Deloney. No Ken song yet. No, I haven't heard a song that lent itself to either his name or like any of his books, Proximity Principle or nothing like that. Nothing rhymes with that. So maybe one will be coming at some point. Alrighty. 106 is up there. 106. Can fry some eggs on the sidewalk with that, maybe. Alrighty. Market report, and I don't have it queued up, but that would be could do the Price is Right losing sound for that. The boop boop boo doo. The most down, the Nasdaq 3.26% down. Russell Small Cap Index, the next most down, negative 3.09%. And I saw something about because they're nervous about job data coming this week sometime, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Let's see what the rest of the planet did. We got everything down in Europe. So not escaping it, going to a different country. Mostly down. All but one of the indices in the Asia is down as well. Let's check out the currencies. The euro is up against the US dollar up against the Japanese yen, the British pound loaf up against the US dollar up against the Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollarmite is up against the US dollar. Let's check the most followed single stocks on the Google. Looks like the most down, everything down. Looks like the most down is going to be your Alphabet, which owns Google, 3.6 8% down. Let's see if there's any interesting stories here. Oh, yeah, we normally check on crypto. All the crypto's up today. That keeps trading. That doesn't shut down at, I think that shuts down at 4 o'clock or 4:30 Eastern time. I can't recall. And the futures, everything down again. So hope that doesn't happen, because that would be 3 point something down today and then 3 point something down tomorrow. So hopefully that changes by the morning, by opening bell tomorrow. Let's see. Stocks tumbled to start September as crucial jobs report lies ahead. That's probably what I saw exactly right there. 40,000 Bitcoin price crash warning issued as the Fed suddenly braces for a US dollar crisis that's predicted to spark total collapse. Okay. If there's going to be a total collapse, we got bigger problems than crypto. Don't know what that lawsuit from HP is all about. Weak manufacturing measures raise specter of U.S. economic slowdown. All right. So no good news today is what we're saying here. Hyundai updates. Iconic 5. I guess that's a phone. Or is that a... Oh, no. It's a electric vehicle. Okay. Oh, Hyundai. Yeah, not... I was thinking of a different H manufacturer that does phones. Can't remember. Decoding Warren Buffett's stake reductions in Apple, Bank of America. I'm assuming he thinks they're not doing well. They're not going to be doing well in the future, I would assume. That's why you would reduce your stake in those. But those are his like top three. Those are in his top three. The third one is Coca-Cola. DirecTV compensating customers affected by the Disney outage, but they have to take action to get it. Okay, meaning the customers do. Yeah, every once in a while you'll get a entertainment provider, entertainment company rather, that can't come to an agreement with a service provider, such as DirecTV or your cable company and so forth. And so, unfortunately for the DirecTV customers, since Disney owns everything, then they got the Disney, they got Star Wars, anything Lucasfilm they have, they own ABC, ESPN, and a bunch of other stuff. So they just have you all over the place. So probably need to get that deal done. Broadcom is the only thing on the earnings calendar, and that is in 2 days on Wednesday. All right. Long hot summer. Yeah, it's a September 3. But it could stay warmer longer for sure. Let's do some questions. We go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. It's run by fans, not by Ramsey Solutions. If you want a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be on Facebook, and it's called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community. And if it's named anything else other than that, it's not run by Ramsey Solutions. All right, so this from Who Wanna Do It? All righty then. I've done traditional 401k for the past 15 years, and now I have questions. Well, should probably have had questions earlier rather than just doing it and not know anything about it. But all right, better late than never. My wife and I have always done traditional 401k, no Roth. Well, that would be doing it wrong, according to Mr. Ramsey. As previously, we just discussed it in the Ramsey Show chat. The order for investing is your match from work first, if there is any. And the reason for that is a 100% rate of return on that. That means you put in X amount and you get the match. So, I mean, they may cloud it. A lot of times they cloud it now where they say you have to put in 6%, but then of that 6%, we'll match 3%. So that's not 100% of the 6, but it is. I mean, if you just would say a match for the 3, then that's it. But they like to cloud it by saying the first whatever percent of the first whatever percent, like the 3 of percent per. They will match 3% of your first 6%, and that means you have to put in 6. So basically, you got to put in double. So at that point, it's not really 100% match, but that's still pretty good. 50% match is even pretty good. So you would do the match first, and then your Roth, because the Roth means tax-free growth. And if you have any significant amount of time, like for example, if they have even halfway decent investments in this 401k that they've done for 15 years, they already have much more in gains than they do in growth than they do in the contributions. And so you would rather pay taxes on the smaller amount of contributions and never have to pay taxes on the growth when you take it out at retirement time. So that's the Roth. That would be second. So match Roth. And then if you haven't gotten to your 15% of gross income that you should be investing in retirement on step 4, then you would go back to the 401k and put that in there. And so that's something that's said very, very often on the show. And the young lady that called said she always listens to Dave, and so somehow yet never heard that. No, but my boy, somebody who would, I think Trey maybe, said maybe she just watches the shorts, and that could be. Maybe she could always be watching the shorts and never got one that said match beats Roth beats traditional 401k. Alrighty, so how about the actual question now? We have probably $600,000 at age 38 combined, okay? After listening to Dave, I'm starting to wonder if I should move all future investments to Roth. Well, you wouldn't be able to do all of it probably, but you can do up to, what is it now, 7,000 is the under 50. Under the age of 50, you can do 7,000, I think, at the moment. Took place January 1st. It changed. It got raised. And the olds can do $1,000 more a year for catch-up purposes. So you would do match first, just like I said at the beginning. You do match first, and then you would max out Roth for the year, and then anything left that you have to do of the 15% that you should be investing, and that would go in the 401k then. Let's see, when we retire in another 25 years, okay, I'd like a huge nest egg, but would also like to leave a considerable amount of money to my children when we die, and hopefully not stick them with a huge tax bill. That is a good question. That is something. What would Dave do? What would Dave do? Flair here. I don't know that there is on an inherited 401k. You might have to pay the taxes, but on the Roth you don't. If it's an inherited Roth and you take out I don't think you have to pay those. So, but anyway, it's you wouldn't move all in future investments because Roth does have a much smaller limit than the 401k. Yep. What up, Sid? This post, Steve, mean Roth IRA or 401k? You can't move standard 401k to, right. Well, no, it said future investments. So they would leave. And this is what probably most people should do. You shouldn't move it to Roth to create a tax event. Only in certain situations. That's not for everybody to do. But if you didn't know about Roth accounts before and then you found out about them, you keep the 401k, the traditional 401k, exactly as it is and let it keep growing as it is. But then going forward, you would max out Roth accounts before you would put money into the 401k. Other than, of course, the match is what you start with again. Alrighty. Let's see. Trey says, I know you can backdoor standard 401k into a Roth IRA, but I don't think you can do the same into a Roth 401k. No. Alrighty. Did we get all that? Yeah, we got all that. All right. Blubber McBlubber. Okay, McBlubber. Carly's scheme. Why you got to be scheming and scamming? Carly's scheme via work versus used car in the bloody UK. So I've driven even in the UK, I think. So I've drove a 2013 Ford Focus for nearly 5 years. I got this for £5,000 with 90k miles back in 2019. I changed tires. TYRES? Really? Where's A9 when I need her? To tell me if this is just this person or if this is some UK crap. Brake pads, disc, and a few other things over the past 6 months. It's now at the point 150 kilometer, 150,000 miles in the UK. Why are you? Maybe he's part American, part UK. I don't know what's going on there. Saying miles though, not kilometers. I'll need to start changing more, and with a kid, 2-year-old, I need something new. Bullcrap. Oh, my kid's 2. I gotta have a new car. No buying new cars until you are a millionaire, and that's only gonna be with cash. Looking at used cars, it's become very apparent the price is bloody increased drastically. Can pick up a similar car with similar miles, 2019 Ford Focus, but it's now at least 9K. Well, you got to keep looking, and also you can expand your search area. Insurance has also gone through the roof. Yeah. Okay, 480 to 850. That's a lot of British pounds. That's a lot of quid. So I worked out what this would cost me over 3 years. 9K for car, 3.9 on diesel. Who told you to get a diesel vehicle? Why would you get a diesel vehicle, sir? 10K miles per year over 3 years. Don't drive as much. Also, if you're just out there cruising along and such for fun. So, I mean, if you're doing it for work, if you have to go that many miles, if you live out in the suburbs and have to commute, I get that part. Insurance, 2.4K. I mean, these are things that have to be paid if you want to operate a motor vehicle. So you adding it up for 3 years doesn't change anything in the advice. There's not going to be the advice to get a loan because of your 3-year math on this. Let's see. Oh, but this is going to be for a car lease scheme via work. And that's going to be a no from Dave Dog. Let's see. 3 years. This is $15,300, quid, excuse me. And doesn't include servicing or repairs. I have a work scheme, which gives me a new electric vehicle with a huge discount. Overall, it's 11.5 for 36 months. This includes tax, insurance, repairs, and servicing. Well, see, but you would own the other car, and you wouldn't be leasing it, locking you into that. We talked about that earlier in the Ramsey Show chat as well. The things that a lot of people do is they are just constantly leasing a phone, constantly financing a phone. And sure, Apple is or the insurance the mobile service carrier is more than happy to let you keep on getting the newest iPhone, and you just start in that payment schedule for life, leasing schedule for life. So that's not advised. So, I mean, you're doing your little 3-year math here on that, but the car that you own is going to be yours for longer than 3 years. So it's not apples to oranges here. So you're doing it wrong. There obviously isn't any resale on the lease. Correct that as well. So you have it as a something that you could sell if you needed to upgrade, and you also have it as a car that you can keep driving if you don't decide to sell it and upgrade. Or it doesn't die, and then you have to sell it and get another one. Financially, there's just over $100,000, nope, British pounds, love, coming into our household, and it's the only car we have. Okay, I know we try to avoid debt. You don't do or do not. There is no try. There is no try. It's a no from Dave. And that doesn't matter if you're in the UK or anywhere, or on the surface of the moon even. I genuinely have little to none. Oh, we try to avoid debt, and I genuinely have little to none. That means you have some. So you're doing it wrong. What do you think, George? Oh, I wonder if I have it. I wonder if I have it loud enough.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if that was loud enough to be picked up by but basically that was George saying, you're doing it wrong. Let's see. We have a mortgage. It's our only debt. Oh, okay, well, I mean, that's... Genuinely have little to none. Well, what is this little to none part? The mortgage is not a little to none thing, so I'm confused by the little to none thing. Paying 10% extra per year. Well, if you are having car issues, you would take care of those before you would put extra on the house. I pretty much talked myself into the lease. Why are we here then? You're wasting your time if you talked yourself into the lease by getting on the Reddit and typing your little question. Just want people to agree with him probably. But may need a sanity check to be sure it's the right choice. It's not. Debt is never the right answer. The thing is, leasing was a poor choice when used car prices were low. It doesn't matter now that they're higher either. Quit being dumb. But they just seem so astronomical now. And insurance prices, this is your justification station right here. All aboard! Are increasing each year. What am I missing? You're missing that you just talked yourself into something that's not a good idea. And if you've listened to Dave for only a short amount of time, you know it's no leases. You buy cash. You buy cars with cash. I was going to say you buy cash with cars. That's not how that works. Although you can, by selling a car, you can get cash for it. But yeah, the old man got confused. Give me a break. That's right. It's a fleece. You got it. Fleece though. So yep, it's a fleece, not a lease. And so yeah, Car and Driver magazine said it's the most expensive way to operate a motor vehicle is by leasing it. So yeah, so that's a no with the car lease scheme. That's a no. And your math is all bullcrap because it's not, it's apples to oranges. It's not apples to apples because if you lease and then the lease ends, you have nothing. If you have this car that you already own at the end of the 3 years, you still own the car and can still drive it or sell it. Avionics Engineer 06, is a car note with a good income really that bad? See the previous question. Yes. No. Let's see, I see everywhere how car loans are death. Well, if you see it everywhere, then maybe it's true. People seem to treat them almost like they do credit card debt. Well, they shouldn't. I mean, that's why normal people are in so much debt. They're doing it wrong. So, I mean, I'm not even going to read this crap. Let's see. On my investment mix, they're also investing and wanting to get into debt too. So you would not do that. So baby steps in order, and none of that involves taking on more debt. Not for a car, not for anything, except maybe a house that you live in. Domino's Vobiscum, closing credit card out. Do you guys close out accounts or just pay them off and cut them up? Isn't it bad for your credit score? We don't care about credit score. If you're not using debt anymore, what do you need a credit score for? I mean, apparently you need it in Canada, eh? If you want a mortgage, apparently you gotta have a credit score there, is what I'm told. But 15-year-old account, shouldn't I keep it? 38 years old? No, you shouldn't. No. End your credit score, end your relationship with debt. That's a no, no, no. And again, in America, you can do manual underwriting. You can buy a house without a credit score. All right, Effective Artist 9287, private student loan settlement. Currently on baby step number 2 with just under $15,000 left of my federal student loans and an estimated payoff date of March 2025. Well, if you're doing baby step 2, we're paying off debts faster than the estimated payoff, or is that your projections on paying more on them? Didn't specify. Largest and final debt is private student loan, currently totaling $37,794 with First Tech Credit Union. Oh, that's the federal, 15K in federal, and it's got the 37. Okay. I've been paying on this since graduating in 2019. That's not fun, is it? And am not in default. Right. I don't know if you're not in default. They generally don't have any reason to settle with you, and especially private student loans. Now, with the private student loan, you can contact Dave Approved Why Refi. They only refi private student loans because of, let's see what interest this person is paying. Because normally you can't do anything with those, and they have high interest. Let's see, I've been paying. And not in default. I heard Jade say that she and her husband were able to settle some of their private student loans for 60. Okay, I didn't know they were private. Are you sure they were private? Student loans for 60 cents on the dollar. I mean, you can call anybody you owe money to and ask them if they will settle for less. But generally, like a credit card, if you have never missed a payment, you're always on time with it, they don't have any reason to settle for less because they're not worried about getting their money from you. But you didn't give many details. Okay. From what I've read, you have to be in default to get the bank to settle with you. Yeah, because why would they otherwise? They have to think that they're not going to get any money from you. in order to settle, because otherwise, why would they settle? They have no reason to settle. Has anyone had any luck with settling for a lump sum on a loan not in default? It's probably happened, but in general, the company doesn't have any reason to. They are in the business to make money by having you make the minimum payment on any debt forever. That's why they are in business. That's how they make their money. I'd ideally like to stack up about 20K and make them an offer. Any ideas are helpful? Well, you wouldn't do anything about that. You would pay minimums on it until you get this 15K done. Okay? Baby steps in order. And baby step 2 is smallest to largest. So you pay your smaller debts first and only then do you. Now you can let it go into collections if you want, not pay it, and then maybe you'd have a better chance of settling it. But if you can make the payment, make the minimum payment, pay off your smaller debts, and once you get to that one, then you keep making the minimum payments if you don't want to default on it, and stack up that money you're talking about, and then offer them the settlement on it to see if they'll settle it. But generally, it can't be like one missed payment. They're not going to settle for you over one missed payment. So, I mean, you can try it. There have been a couple people that I've heard on the Ramsey show that said, like, a credit card even did take, when they were never late, they did take a settlement for some reason. So, I mean, I guess it might just depend. Might depend on who you get on the phone when you ask or so forth. But logically, if you have no problem paying it and you keep paying it, they have no reason to settle with you. Boom, boom, boom. You don't even need a credit score to get emergency debt. That's right. Boom, boom, boom. That's right. The bank will always loan you more money than they should. Always. No reflection, 3596. If they will not loan you money at all, you are in bad shape already. Better option than high yield savings account for down payment. Not really, unless you have a long time period before you are buying. Say like you live in, I don't know, let's say Boston, and you don't make Boston money, and you want to buy a house in Boston. In that case, you might be saving for longer than 5 years, and to use the market as a piggy bank, you have to have at least a 5-year window on that, because you do not want to be buying in like two or 3 years. Like, for example, you do not want to be buying now and want to take out your money right now and the market's down 2-3%. And then from what tomorrow is, see if the futures have changed any. Dow is positive. And NASDAQ went, it's almost even for tomorrow. So hopefully not another 2 or 3% tomorrow down, but like within 2 days, that could easily be 6% by this current example. And so that's why you would not do that. So within 1.5 to 4 years. So that's not enough time. So high yield savings account is going to be about the best you can do on that. About 5-ish% there. We're transit due to my educational goals. In the meantime, we have 60K saved, and we'll probably have 85K within another year. It's all just sitting in our flimsy high yield savings account with 4.35% interest. Yeah, that's the best you can do unless you expand the time period before you will need it. Is there any other investment vehicle? Nope. I can be using for this duration. Also, we are maxing out our Roth IRAs. You can also, to save a bigger down payment faster, you can stop investing for retirement for 2 years. Dave allows you stop for 2 years. And so you can do that, and that way you'll have more money faster for that down payment. So we could contribute additional $1,200 per month, but don't want to lose out on earlier compound interest. Okay, where you're not, what's in there already will continue to grow. So I understand you do want to keep adding to it, and that's up to you. You don't have to do that. That's just an option if you want to save a larger down payment much faster. You can take 2 years off of investing. And of course, you should be doing more than just the Roth IRA, because that's not 15% of your, I hope not 15% of your household income. Boom, 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 boom. Miss T Bikini, since the interest rates are going to go down, should I pull my high yield savings account and put it in the investments account? Yep. Just like for this supposed house buying savings that this person was doing, the down payment savings, to put it in the market. You don't want the market to be down right at the moment you want to use that money. And so in your case too, Misty Bikini. And so that's why if you get to a 5-year increment, almost skipped this question for no reason. If you get to the 5-year increment, the market has an extremely low chance of being down within any 5-year period. Barbecue Jones is out. Trade says, if you plan to use the majority of that high yield savings account balance in the next year or two, then you probably shouldn't invest it. That much is certain. That's right. We're not day trading, Misty Bikini. Not day trading. Tonic 1112, mental health support with 2 T's and paying debt. Oh, that's where some of the T's went. I was wondering why people don't pronounce T's all the time. Like instead of fronting, people say frontin'. There's one of the extra T's. I was wondering where they were. Mental health support and paying debt. Debt inquired, probably acquired because of stupid decisions in life. Yep, that'll happen. My mom, 4K euro. That's euro, right? Not pound. Yeah, the L is the pound. This is euro. Personal loan, yeah, personal loan again. Income, 2 jobs I get each month after taxes, $6,700. Where's all that going? My plan is to tackle down the debt. I have my own apartment, so I do not pay rent. Oh, okay, owns the apartment, great. Living expenses include bills and sport activities. Okay, well, until you get the debt paid off, you could cut out the sport activities. You could cut out eating out. You could cut out anything extra. You can only do necessities while you get rid of that dumb debt because of your stupid decisions in life. You can make a smart one now and sacrifice some of these things. That's $700 for living expenses, bills, sport activities, food, and gas. The euro, I don't know the exchange rate off the top of my head, but that might not be that bad. I don't know. But still, even if it's not that bad, see if you can cut more always. Pay my mother, 4K, but 4K, October. Okay, he's just trying to say something. But you would pay it off as quickly as possible. But the mental health support in paying debt. Yeah, I don't know what that means. So let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the rest of it. See if there's an explanation for that. 4K in September, October to March 2025, paying the 36K in 7 months. Okay, well, you try to do it faster than your projections. Say 5.5K each month, and we'll be at 24K saved next year. Well, you're also not saving extra money. You get 1,000 euros, or the equivalent of 1,000 US dollars, whichever you would like to do, whichever makes you feel better on that. And so, yeah, you don't save money. You pay off all your debts. You only have 1,000 euros or US dollars while you are paying off debt. You do not save up more money and have 24K by July 2025. You get done with the debt earlier. Please tell me if this is a good plan. Nope. This is doing it wrong. This is, where are they? There's the baby steps. Lost my way somewhere along in the baby steps. Let's see. Okay, so C says save $1,000 there. It says pay off all debt. And you're trying to combine steps 1 and 3 to save 3 to 6 months of expenses for your more savings, or for whatever purpose you are trying to save money for, just to have it. Some people do it just to have it. And we don't operate on a sludge fund just in case you want to buy something. That's not how it works. Now you get to step 7, have a sludge fund, fine. But until then, no, your money is going to the baby steps instead of just sitting around being saved. So yeah, so that's a no on that. Please tell me if this is a good plan and I can have my life back to rebuild from here. What do you mean your life back? No, you have your life back when you're not making debt payments anymore. I'm in a bad place now, knowing that I languaged. I'm 29 years old, and in February 25 will be 30. Okay, I want to change and rebuild my life from here. Great, then I got a great idea. See this? Baby steps. Learn it, know it, live it. Don't try to improve it. Don't do it your own way. Do it this way. Millions of documented success stories. This way works. I assure you. Do it like you're supposed to. Not like you wanna. Goes faster than you think after baby step 2. Yeah, generally, yeah, everybody doing the baby steps generally gets to goals faster. Just because you start being intentional with it, and because you're being intentional, then you're considering stuff. You're not out one day and say, well, I'll get lunch. I'll get a $20 lunch. You'll say, well, I can do with a $10 lunch, and I can put the $10 to whatever. And see, that part, when you decide that stuff on a daily basis, that's not included in your projections over the next however many years. Joker76 finally became a baby step millionaire. Excellent. Wife and I, both 37, became net worth millionaires. Net worth is 2 words, though. A lifelong goal we finally achieved, and it feels great. Excellent. Happy for you. Other than my wife and parents, we don't really have anyone that we can openly share the news with. That's sad. We have a little over $210,000 left on the mortgage that we're working to pay down, so we have no obligations. And that's great. You should be putting extra on that mortgage to pay it off. But it feels good to cross the threshold. I imagine it would. That's awesome. 16 semesters. Oh boy, did they bungle a call about college aid recently. All right. I love the people that don't have a show that think they know better. Let's see. George and John has a H in it, had a call recently where a young woman from Arizona was having trouble financing college because her mother didn't fill out her tax return last year, and thus the caller could not complete FAFSA. They gave some okay advice, but then they insinuated the caller didn't need to worry about FAFSA since they want her to cash flow the degree, period. FAFSA determines all types of aid, including grants and need-based scholarships. Yeah, that is true. That much I knew. Not filling out FAFSA is potentially leaving tens of thousands of dollars in free aid on the table. It is, but if she can't get the mom to fill out the tax return, then that's not going to happen, probably. So you're limited there on it. You can't make the mom do that. Let's see, tens of $1,000s in free aid on the table. It's just not. It's not just for loans. The conversation should have been around how to either get her mother to file taxes so that the caller could fill out FAFSA. You can just ask, what are they going to tell her? How to get her mom to do it? I mean, if your mom doesn't file it with the threat of the IRS, you think somebody asking that who's a bottom they cleaned, diaper they changed, you think that's going to help? I don't think so. So the caller could fill out FAFSA on how to address college and process when you have a parent that didn't do it. So that is right, and the FAFSA would definitely help, but maybe George and John were thinking more about reality of the situation, and it'll be great if the mother files it, and so then you can file the FAFSA. But if not, you can do it by yourself. They told her what she could do on her own. One simple brain. What's your monthly buffer to start with during baby step 2? There is no buffer. You don't do a buffer. You have the $1,000 emergency fund, and that's it. Now, as far as going from month to month, it's a zero-based budget, but it's not. That doesn't mean you have $0 in your, or even just like $1, or even less than $10 in your checking account at any given time, because you do need enough to get from paycheck to paycheck, and that would be the only buffer amount. But there shouldn't be like extra, like I'm saying, there's no sludge fund in the Ramsey advice. So let's see. Want to be wise about how much money I should have at the beginning of each month. I'm currently, you know what? If you can follow the advice easier, if you are a month ahead and you don't spend that money on something else, which most people will do, you can have the money for all of your bills at the start of the month. And so, but you can't touch that money to buy anything else thinking, oh, well, I get paid in the middle of the month, so I can buy this extra thing now and then I'll put it back later. Then that's cheating. You're being intellectually dishonest at that point. And so you'd be doing it wrong. So you can do it that way. But you know what? So if you do it that way, and have that monthly buffer, and you want to get a month ahead, then you send it immediately. You send it at the start of the month, even though it's not due until the middle of the month. If it's mortgage or rent and it's due on the first of the month, you would send them 1 month. In order to get a month ahead, you would send them 2 months of it. So I mean, that's up to you. I support anything that helps you keep to the steps, but the problem with having extra money around is that most people spend it. Let's see, Every Dollar app. It's super convenient and can easily add to my budget. Currently on baby step 1 and will be moving to baby step 2 this month. I want to get a good grasp on what a reasonable starting buffer should be for each month. What do you all use as your starting buffer? Okay, well, you can go by past experience. If you've had enough already in your account to not be late with any payments and you can still buy food and other necessities, then the amounts that you've had before are fine and you're overthinking it at this point. Let's see, I'm considering setting mine at $1,500 since that's how much I usually spend in the first 2 weeks on necessary expenses like rent, food, student loans, credit cards, etc., etc. You can get 2 weeks ahead as well, like that. You can do it however you need to do it. But again, I'm just worried that if you have $1,500 at the beginning of the month, and then you're like, oh, well, I get paid again in the middle of the month, then I'll just replace it before one of these rent, food, student loans, or credit card bills or expenses are due, then you're just going to spend it and say, I'll put it back, then that's when you would not do it. So, but again, that doesn't mean you have $0 in checking at any time, because you may need to pay something before you get paid the next time, and the start of the month doesn't take that into account always. That's not always the same from month to month. Boom, boom, boom. As not convinced when you have 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, you need immediate access to all of those funds. You don't need, like, for example, a 3-month emergency fund is fine for a single person that doesn't have a mortgage. I think if you have a mortgage, there's too much that can go wrong with the house that you will need to pay for to fix. That you should have a 6-month emergency fund even before you start saving the down payment. But if you're single and you have no job or life drama, a 3-month emergency fund is fine. But you would still, instead of having extra emergency fund, if you don't think you need it immediately available, then you don't need that much emergency fund, and you can apply that to debt. Or the full emergency fund. Oh, it already is a full emergency fund. So if it's a full emergency fund, there is no non-mortgage debt. So yeah, so that's fine. You 3-month 3-month immediate access is fine for some people, but like for some, for maybe even just for couples. But once you start getting a kid involved, once you get a mortgage involved, I will always recommend the 6-month emergency fund, and that does mean all 6 months available immediately, because emergencies do not wait 1 to 3 days. I've never had an emergency wait 1 to 3 days. When I fractured my humerus, when I moved here to Arkansas, it didn't stop and ask me if it needed to wait for a 1 to 3 day transfer for the money. It didn't ask me that. Yeah, homeowners insurance, medical insurance covers the big problems. There are other problems though. It's just too much. Too much that can go wrong with a mortgage, and there's too much responsibility if you are a family with children. Sid does the budget cycles. Misty Bikini agrees to me. Somebody agrees. Everybody agrees. We just want to kidnap you. Okay, that's not good. Number 10, paid and closed. Excellent. Hard to share this with friends and family because most of them don't get it. Yep, they're normal. We're the weird ones. So share it with us weird ones. This morning, my wife and I paid off debt. Line item number 10 this morning. Embarrassing part is we still have 14 to go. Well, number 10 being paid and closed is better than number 9 being paid and closed. So making progress, so doing well. Congratulations. Crushed Green Velvet. I'm the spender and I don't know how to stop. Yeah. Crushed Green Velvet there. Stop buying Velvet. Let's see, I stayed away for a while, but I recently went lurking and shopping on eBay, Poshmark, and some Google movies. These were all following a depressive month after an extreme falling out with my husband. All right. So the spending is related to a marriage issue. So instead of trying to fix the symptom, you fix the actual problem. You get marriage counseling instead of depression counseling. Now you can do both, but in both of those, we're blaming the depression. Now, if you're a spender even without the depression and you cannot stop yourself, if you know it's the wrong thing to do and you still can't stop yourself, you may need counseling for the spending itself. But if you had extreme falling out with your husband, that needs to be addressed first and foremost. Now, here we are trying to get back on track, and all of my spending showed up on the bank statements. feel awful. I hate hating myself. That has to override your desire to spend then. You know, and if you can't make that happen within yourself, you need counseling help to do that. And that does happen. There's no easy answer for this because everyone's going to be different. Some people just need enough people to tell them stop spending, and then they can do it. Or then the person can reread their post right here, and it says, I feel awful, I hate hating myself. And then they can embrace that feeling awful and hating herself or himself. Doesn't say. Poshmark though. Hating myself. So yeah, embrace that and have that override the desire to spend. But some people can't do that. It's like, you know, like a disease, like alcoholism. They can't stop, even though they know it's bad. Boom, boom, boom. Mr. Bikini, I just always feel about job loss. I lost a job during COVID, and it takes a while to get hired again. That scared me, and now I want to have 6 months in there. Yeah, I get it for that. I get it for that reason. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I haven't been keeping up with the chat. There's normally not this much chat. Normally, I would keep track of it much more, but Sid is taking care of it. Addressing things in the chat. Munging is fun. I don't know what munging is. I don't know if I should look it up. Keep waffling, or whether to pay off the house, or you could not waffle and you could go to Waffle House to celebrate your paid off house. See how I brought it around there? Being told it's an emotional decision, I guess, but it's debt. No such thing as good debt. You get rid of your debt. If you have the money sitting around in a savings account, as I said before, you're doing it wrong having a general savings fund that doesn't have a name on it. That it's for upcoming tire expenses. It's for down payment. You know, anything, if it has a name on it that is for specific something, not just for general worry or just general, I want to spend money this month. So you wouldn't do that. And if you have enough money to pay off, say, a house, which is generally going to be thousands and thousands of dollars, that should not be just sitting around in a savings account. Let's see. Curious if anyone found a way to have the best of both worlds. We finally have enough liquidity to pay off our house. Numbers below, but peers are telling me it's a emotional decision and best to keep our mortgage since the rate is low. No, that's a no. What are you making on the C? What are you making on the CD? Cashing out enough from the CD annual. So if you only have it in CD, you're making what? You're not even making the 3%. So that your math argument here does at least have your math argument make sense and support your argument. Just doing freaking CDs is not going to make the 3.8% and even make it a wash, which you still wouldn't do. You're not trying to make it a wash. You're trying to get rid of all of that 3.8% interest per month by paying it off. As a big investor, take home pay versus paying towards mortgage. Where are the holes in my logic? Because you're not making enough to pay off the interest, and even if you are, that's still not the advice because it's behavior issue. Emotional decision, behavior issue. And so that's still the advice, even if you did have it like in saying a 5% high yield savings account. Well, yeah, you're making the 1.2 extra on anything you're putting on there. But if you have a much higher amount in the that you owe on the mortgage than you have in that high yield savings account, it's not going to generate the same amount. until you get the matching amount in there, until you save that much. And that's why that's not the advice, to have savings while you still have a house payment. Just have general savings not to pay off the mortgage. And that's not the advice. So those are the holes in your logic. I'd welcome any other anecdotes that convince me. Well, we don't know what would convince you. That paying off the mortgage yields more over the long run than leaving that capital in index funds. That as well. Now the index funds, that'll be 10%. And you can play that math game if you want to, but that's not the Ramsey advice. Because the Ramsey advice is doing stuff because it's a behavior that you're setting. You're setting a mindset, and that's no more debt. And so you're not trying to, what this is debt leveraging the mortgage, having the mortgage, debt leveraging the house so that you can invest more in index fund. And so if that's what you want to do, you can certainly keep doing it. You don't have to take Dave's advice. Most people will not do that. Alrighty. Lots of work is Aslan's biggest fear as well. And so she keeps more than 6 months. Have you been without a job for 6 months, Aslan? I would challenge you on that. How can you? I don't understand how you could be out of job for 6 months if you're trying to get another job. Earning extra to get out of debt faster. Best practices. So I discussed with my wife ways to get out of debt faster. Looking at picking up extra cash to attack the debt faster. She mentioned, what up, Matty Bags? Getting a part-time job at a store or something. And 12 to 15 an hour is money. It is. I was flabbergasted that she wouldn't consider picking up more clients to coach because she was not emotionally ready to. What does that mean? She's a talent coach and gets paid $500 a month per client. In my mind, I thought just do what kind of coach? Just do the harder thing. You're emotionally not ready for more money. Yeah, it doesn't always work like that. Just like the money thing didn't work on paying off the mortgage. The money thing may not work and you are not the one with the not being emotionally ready, so you might not understand it. So that's not very empathetic towards your wife, I don't think. So you might also want to take a look at the marriage there, see if there's any issues there. Hopefully not, and it's just this thing that you can't wrap your head around because you want to get out of debt and you want her to do this, a thing that she is not emotionally ready for. You could take her word for it and say that, especially if she'd rather work retail. It would seem much like better to me to get another client, but something about that has her being emotionally not ready. And so you didn't tell us what that was, and maybe you don't even know. And if you don't even know as her husband, you probably need to talk more. And then we turn to me, where I am willing to take another job. Great. Where I currently make about $90 an hour where I work now, but have to travel extensively for it. I didn't think it wise to take a job for 15 just to make extra. I could travel more. You could, and that's just for a hashtag season until you get all the debt done. Just to make extra, I could travel more and make more, but I like to be with my family. Being away is hard. Of course it is. And so maybe you're not emotionally ready to be away more. See how it works? I guess my question is, would Dave say do the job that makes the most money? It's not cut and dried like that. Would Dave say do the job that makes the most money, or just do the job that is there because it's a second job and is emotionally easier to do? I would let the wife and her counselor about that. She definitely needs counseling about it if it's going to keep her from getting more clients. If there's something going on that's keeping them from getting more clients, then that's well worth seeing a counselor for. And so, but you got the same deal about, I mean, that's, you want to be with your family more. And so, how is that any different? Why don't we just tell you, oh, well, you just do the thing that makes more money, even though you want to be with your family more. See how it works? Gotta have more empathy and not only think like with your own mind. You gotta expand yourself and have empathy for people before just applying your thought process to their brain, because it doesn't work like that. Papa Jeans, home buying advice. Hey all. Hi guys. Looking for input on my current situation. Phrasing. I've read everything Dave has. Doubt. But I'm curious of others' opinions on what Dave would suggest to do here. So you read everything he has, but then you want somebody's opinion of what he would say. All right, let's see what it is. For home buying advice. All right, so how is this going to be different what they say on every show? My wife and I gross about $90K per year. The only debt we have is our home and the remainder of our student loan, which equates to about $12,000. Minimum payment on that is $75 per month. We purchased our current home 7 years ago as a starter home. We've now had 2 daughters and we're quickly outgrowing our space. Again, I don't think you probably don't need a bigger house. People always blame it on having children to buy a larger house. If they both have room to sleep, so if there's 2 bedrooms in there, because they can share a bedroom, it'll be fine. So if they both have a room to sleep, that they can share that room, and you and the missus share a bedroom, that's 2 bedroom, that's big enough. So you don't need that. You also don't need to get an SUV when you had the second daughter. Not required. 2 babies can fit in a compact car. Absolutely, they can. We'd like to start shopping for a new home over the next summer. I would like you to get over the debt first. That's what I would like for you to do. And that's what Dave would like for you to do as well. So you've read everything Dave has, but for some reason it doesn't apply to your situation because of what you want to do. And you're the exception. You're not. So, I mean, if you read everything Dave has or you watch the show, and you should know the home buying doesn't happen until step 3B is the down payment for it. If you already have the house, that's fine, and it's not making you house poor if you're not outside of his guidelines, which allow you to pay off your debts, which is first before you would do anything like upgrade house before you get out of step 2 debt. That is dumb. If you don't know this, you haven't read everything Dave has, or you have read it and it went into your head and you said, oh, that doesn't apply to me because that's not what I want to do. And it just went out again. So this happens all the time, though. People just don't apply it to themselves. If we sold our current home, we would profit around $60K once the remaining balance was paid off. Yeah, second homes get no mortgages on them. Second homes, you pay for completely in cash with the equity. And if you need to add any extra, you save in cash for it. You don't trade mortgages every 7 years. You do not do that. The question is, does it make sense in Dave's plan to save up? Or no. Do the baby steps. Look at this. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. It doesn't say unless you want to get a freaking bigger house for no reason. Doesn't say that. Does not say that there. So people overreact and they think their little situation is so precious And so they don't apply what they darn well know. The advice is too simple to not understand. Even if you look at the baby steps. Oh, step 2, that's an early step. If I still have non-mortgage debt, I should probably pay that off before I freaking upgrade my house. Dumb. Alrighty, once again, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. And I will tell you dumb if you schedule a pre-financial coaching consultation with me. Let me reset the scroll. I can never, I should have it written down separately where I can look at it. That would be a good idea. Alrighty, yeah, you can schedule that free financial coaching consultation with me. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. You can do that at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the Cash App at $coachstevemoney. Or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams would be the weekend stream, new time on that. That would be 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, unless there's a Ohio State Buckeyes or Washington Commanders game on at that time. That's answering your financial questions, Saturday and Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And this show, the Ramsey Show Aftershow show, is going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern time. And Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is going to be the Ramsey Show Chat Refugee Stream. And I'll try to have some content on those at all times. Tomorrow, probably be trying to finish up Tomb Raider Underworld. And just so people will have a place to come and chat, since our beloved chat goes bye-bye when the show goes to the app for the last radio hour. It's 40 minutes of video that goes to the app. Alrighty, let's see. Yep, like and subscribe. That's right. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat. Took 30 weeks to find work yet. Over 50 and hard to find work. At my age, it shouldn't matter, but it does. It can, but I mean, after a while, let's see, 30 weeks. That is, what is that for? That's 7 months. After like 3 months, that's when I would start applying to Taco Bell and such. Or Walmart, as Ken said today. Competition during COVID was pretty huge, though. There's still jobs if you wanted them. Depending on where you live, that was a really difficult time for people. Yeah, I'm sure there was some, especially like more rural areas where there are fewer jobs in general. When in the baby steps you buy a home, yeah, step 3B is saving the down payment. You do not start saving a down payment until you have, my recommendation is the 6-month emergency fund. And that means so you wouldn't be saving for a house instead of paying off debt. You do the baby steps in order, 1, 2, and 3, one at a time, before you even think about doing step 3B and 4, which is investing. So you're not investing either. You stop investing to pay off that debt. Alrighty, Miss TV needs help with weeds. We'll definitely email you, Steve. Oh, I thought you was talking about literal weeds. I was like, well, I can't do that. I'm not a landscaping coach. Not a landscaping coach. Just a financial coach. So, alrighty. Yep. Look forward to getting your email. Yeah, you can. If you just have like one or two questions, you can just email me. If a consultation isn't necessary, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind answering a question. I have that kind of time. If I have 1 million subscribers one day and don't have that kind of time, I'll stop saying email me. Alrighty. Sometimes they like to chat longer than the content is given. Domino's wants me to get pepperoni stuffed cheesy bread for no discount. Sonic wants me to get, oh, it is Tuesday, yeah, high price Sonic cheeseburgers on Tuesdays. So that's at least, letting me know, hey, there's a discount today if you buy this Sonic cheeseburger. And so here's a good money saving tip. And here's what I do. Now, this is not their intention at all. They're not giving you the half price cheeseburger because they love you or because they're your friend or because they're trying to help out the community, because they want you to come to there specifically because of that half price cheeseburger, and then you buy more stuff. Which the average person, I mean, you buy if you get the half price cheeseburger, which by itself may be a break even for them. I don't know the food cost. But the half price cheeseburger itself, paying half, may be a break even. So they're not out any money. But then if you get a drink or a shake and also fries on top of that, then they made more money for that day by getting you to come in for the half price cheeseburger. And so you just got to be smarter than they are. So, and I have no problem with it. I wouldn't have if I didn't want to get those emails, I would opt out of them, or that might just be an app notification. I wouldn't have the app on my phone. Investment guy doesn't get in the weeds with me. They're not trying to do that. They generally try to shepherd you into whatever package that they've developed. And unfortunately, a lot of times those packages aren't what's best for the customer. It's what's best for his pocket due to like incentives for recommending this particular fund. Unfortunately, it's like that. And so that's the dealio on that. So, but I don't give specific investing advice, just same as the Ramsey advice. I'm not going to tell you what fund to invest in, that kind of thing, what funds. I'll just give you the same advice, which is in the 4 different categories. Small, mid, large cap, and international. You invest 15% of your gross income into that. You split that amount 4 ways, and it goes 25% each of the 15% into each category: small cap, large cap, mid cap, and international. Managed mutual funds, because they can beat the index, and so you want to find the ones that can beat the index, and that's what your investor guy should be doing for you, and not just pushing you into something he already had prepared and didn't have to work on at all. So, I mean, theoretically, though, you could have a prepared thing of managed mutual funds that do beat the index. So it's possible, but, unfortunately, you have to know enough to know that they're leading you astray, unfortunately. How to save, where to save. Well, you don't save extra. Like what bills to pay. You pay the ones that are due. If you have debt, you're doing that first, and so you're not saving any extra money. So you wouldn't need to save it, and you're not investing in retirement either. But as far as bills, you pay them when they're due. I don't know why that would be weedy. So some people do have a problem with that, though, about just maintaining, even though the electric bill says it's due on the 19th. That means you can pay it between the 1st and the 19th at some point. So, and the saving, it depends if it's retirement, which doesn't happen until step 4. You would do that in a tax advantaged account, whether that be a 401k through your employer or a Roth IRA, which you would open yourself. So yeah, but if you have debt, you shouldn't be investing at all. So yeah, and an investment guy is generally not gonna help you figure out how to pay your bills. You know when you I do. When I email you, it makes sense. Okay, we'll see. We'll see if it does or not. All right. And anything you put in there is confidential. I won't talk about that on a stream. So, but we'll see. We'll see about that. All right. Actually, yeah. Looks like nobody except Miss T Bikini has typed in the past 10 minutes. So I guess I will end the stream. Again, once again, youtube.com/coachstevemoney. One more shameless plug since it stayed on. You scroll down for the financial content, and that's answering your financial questions with Ramsey Solutions Certified Coach Steve Money. On this one, I just answer these type of questions or from the Facebook group. It's just answering the questions, and I only talk about the market if like a market question is asked as part of the questions, and I don't do any singing on it except if it's me doing it a cappella first line or two. I will do that, but I don't have. It's not like much as a show as it is just answering the questions. Now the Ramsey Show Aftershow show is more like a show. I try to talk about the market. And what that's done that day, any news articles I find interesting, even if they don't have anything to do with finance, I'll talk about that sometimes. And occasionally other segments, a show and tell. If somebody sends me a picture of something interesting, I might share that. Yeah, and answering the questions after all that. And so I still do that at the end of every after show, answering those same type of questions. And again, the music playlist, 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. And the one called How to Do the Baby Steps Right. The person that was trying to save extra money and trying to buy a house before paying off debt. Now unfortunately, you can't put everything in there that people do wrong. So it doesn't say anything about saving for a house, but it does say you don't save anything other than the emergency fund amount in there. And so those are fun. I got a song called That's What Gives Financial Peace. That's basically about the baby steps as well. Baby Stepping Song, which was the second baby stepping song. Rachel Cruz song. Lifestyle Creep. Instead be a widow. Why the heck are you in debt? Let's see, Jade Warshaw song. The partial Rachel Cruz song. There's also John Deloney song. George Camel song, and the original Baby Steps song. Dave doesn't get a song because basically they're all the Baby Steps songs are about him. Right, and I've started doing reactions. I reacted to a movie last week, or maybe even 2 weeks ago now, A Quiet Place Day 1, and that should be the first one in here. I wonder if I didn't add it to this reaction videos playlist. I will investigate that right now when I'm logging off. Sydney does budget cycles, so she didn't think about bill pay dates. Yeah. Right? So if you do the budget cycle, that bill has to be paid in that budget cycle. And so start the budget cycle, send the money, send it, paid. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah. I mean, some people have problems dealing with it, like can't compartmentalize it like that or something. Who knows? It's the problem is every human thinks differently. No two are exactly alike. in thoughts. And so that's the way it goes. Thanks for sticking around, Sid. Alrighty. And so finally, I'll say make smart financial decisions every day.